What's going on, guys?
Oh.
All right. What is going on, guys? This is the Cloud9 podcast, season 1, episode 4. So just for this episode today, and we will talk about MSI. I thought it'd be pretty cool to just, go over the LCS 2021 spring split, a little bit of a wrap up, do a quick little tier list, and then talk about, Bwipo and Selfmade as they chose to not opt to extend their contracts, for Fnatic for the LEC 2021 summer split and beyond. Also because people need to understand, like both of you guys watch traditional sports, right? This happens, quite a bit. I genuinely think people, started, what's that word? Overreacting to this. Like this happens. They just potentially, it can mean two things. They want to leave and they want to test free agency and see how much they're worth. Because as you guys already know, Fnatic have been, pretty much in the financial troubles. That's what most people are reporting, but we'll talk about that later. But I just want to ask you guys, how are you guys doing? Actually, how was your week? How's your day?
Really good.
Really good?
Yeah, I'm fine. No change from the last 12 hours since we recorded something.
Yeah. So I was literally just, on my bed sleeping most of the day. It's my only day off. So, working 6 days back to back is, man, I'm going to complain to my job about that. That's ridiculous, dude. This back-to-back 6 days of a week that's just like, there's no free time in that. But enough about my amazing life, as you guys already know. So for the LCS 2021 spring split, what would be your biggest disappointment, actually, in terms of what you thought was going to happen?
I mean, obviously 100 Thieves was a disappointment based on what ended up happening. But I think the biggest disappointment as like expectations versus reality was TSM's roster. Like as soon as they built it, that was the biggest disappointment for me, because I thought that when Bjergsen retired, Doublelift retired, it would be really cool to see them, like once they're going for Sword Art, round out a roster of superstars. Because if they're going for Sword Art, why not go for more superstars? To end up seeing like Uni and Lost, like it was very underwhelming. I thought that was the biggest disappointment.
So like for me, like people kind of ragged on me for putting them in like 5th place. I mean, let's be honest here. They really only have like 2 good players though. And it's a combination of whoever the 2 you want to use. Power of Evil Spica, Sword Art, Power of Evil, Sword Art, and Spica, What the heck? But yeah, so, and when you're factoring that in, how do you factor in Huni? Like, Huni played abysmal in 2020. He didn't look that good in Academy. He looked okay on Evil Geniuses. He looked okay. Then what else do you have? Lost? I mean, he's not going to be better than Doublelift. I like giving the new guy chances and shit, but is he going to be better than Doublelift? No, so that's a downgrade. In top lane, they had Broken Blade. They got Huni, so that's a downgrade. They downgraded 2 of their main key components from the previous year. And okay, Power of Evil could be seen as an upgrade of Bjergsen in some ways. Sword Art's an upgrade over Biofrost. Spica's the same. So I just wasn't really feeling their roster moves. And now looking at it, I mean, they definitely did prove me wrong in a lot of different ways. But looking at their actual gameplay, is this team really 3rd place material? I think this is like a 4th, 5th place team. Looking at the games that they've played, even the games that they won, some of them were pretty convincing, right? They beat TL twice in the regular season, but they got beat by TL both times in the LCS 2021 midseason showdown. Both times they lost. That's like, they lost 3-1 both times. One of the games was an absolute destruction. Like they got absolutely just eviscerated off the map. So,
but they still finished 3rd. So,
and that's my thing, though. It's like, did they finish 3rd because everyone else was worse, though? That's my question. Because it happens a lot. Go ahead, man.
Oh, I was gonna say, if I'm a TSM fan and I'm looking at how this year went, I wouldn't say that this was a disappointment. I mean, did they not win the split? Yeah, they didn't. But did they look terribly? Perspectives matter. I mean, they still got 3rd place. I think they're still like ranked 3rd or 4th going into the summer split because all the records carry over. So I mean, I feel like if you're TSM, you're okay with this.
Yeah, okay.
I think it depends. I think it depends on what type of fan you are. If you're trying to see TSM as like if you actually see your organization as a team that can do worlds, no, this is not it. Obviously, they can't perform internationally. I don't think that's a controversial statement. I hope you guys don't think that is. But like if you're like a moderate fan that wants to see the team improve over time, over many months, then this is a decent start. You do know that your mid jungle is decent. Your support is decent in certain situations. Now you just need to figure out a way to get the top and ADC balanced around that, and it's a good building block to start off with. I think that they do have some good players, and I think they can build off of this moving forward in the next season. But I think that overall, I would say that they should be a little bit disappointed based on how they got third place. I think that context does matter, and with 100 Thieves performing so poorly, they should have handled them a lot more than they did. Their early game leaves a lot to be desired, and I think that losing to a substitute jungler in the way that they did to Team Liquid is another blow that I don't think that you can just brush past.
I don't think it's fair to call Armeo a substitute jungler, though.
He is a substitute jungler.
For Team Liquid.
But they played with him. I know, but they played with him for the majority of lock-in.
But to be fair, that was only because they didn't have Santorin because of the visa issues, so. But to be fair, Team Liquid, even in the locking tournament, now that I remember, they didn't look that bad with them anyway, though. But to be fair, we did say he does have a lot of winning lanes, though. So, but now we know that it's not really the case. So he's actually a pretty competent jungler to a certain extent. He still has his faults. Cope has always been analyzing the jungle pathing because he's our resident jungle pather guy around here.
Well, the issue that I had with Armeo was just not because he's inherently a bad player or he didn't do his part as a substitute. I just think that there was obvious synergy issues with their solo lanes and their jungler, and I think that a good jungler like Blabber really exploited that, whereas I think that Spica could have done a lot more. And you have to criticize Spica and Huni for failing as hard as they did against an Alphari and Armeo that were not synergistic at all. It means that Alphari gapped Huni individually so hard that it didn't matter what differences Spica could accumulate.
Like, if you saw their TSM Legends episode where they had their their episode where they were focusing on their match against Team Liquid, it just didn't really feel like they ever had a chance. Like, and then they should have, though. They don't even have the better players. Like, it's, I don't know. Like, I've never hated TSM because people are like, you guys just hate TSM. No. We just get mad when they make dumb decisions. Like, why are you taking Huni when you could get Licorice or Impact? Like,
no, I also think that, like, I think that issue with
Reggie's a cheap fuck.
I think the issue was the manner in which they lost. Like, it wasn't like they never had a chance in those games. There were games where Power People had a massive lead on Lucian, and you just couldn't pilot the champion. Or like there's major glaring flaws that are very difficult to fix within the team. Is my main issue. Like, if your champion pool in mid is limited to control mages, that's going to be an issue no matter what as you move forward. If your top laner cannot play anything but Gragas weak side, that's a major issue. If your ADC isn't capable of carrying when he has a 6-0 lead and a 40 CS lead, like, that's a major issue. It's okay, like, in a perfect situation when your mid laner's on a control mage, your bot laner is playing weak side, and your top lane is perfectly synergistic with the jungler. Yeah, TSM looks like a top 2, top 3 team. But if none of those things happen, if one of those things fall apart, that entire team falls apart. And so there's some major glaring weaknesses that are I don't think very fixable unless you do roster changes.
Yeah, but are you talking like roster changes like in the next couple weeks or into 2022?
I think you have to replace the ADC. I think you absolutely must replace the ADC if you want to. I don't know. I think double lift coming back or higher, just any type of ADC that has a higher carry potential. I would personally be fine with going after King also from C9 Academy. I think you have to, like, you've tried something, right? And you know that it doesn't work. So at that point, you have to try something else. That's my perspective on it. There are options that are equivalent, and giving that a try might be the way to go, because I don't think that, unless you disagree with me, feel free to disagree with me. I don't think that the ceiling for Lost is very high.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with the ceiling for Lost being like 10 times higher. I mean, he's been in and out of the LCS since what, 2016, 2017?
Yeah, he was on Echo Fox back in the 2018 LCS. Yeah, summer. Yeah,
back when
2018. Yeah,
it's like a Ryoma situation, right? It's like we've seen what you can do, and I think
it's one of those things where, like, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. So you know how you have a good player in traditional sports, so you just name a solid good player, right? But if you're talking about winning a championship, is he the guy to do that? You can win with solid players, though, but TSM, throughout most of their history, have won with star players. Doublelift, Bjergsen, Hanser when he was in his prime, quote-unquote, and Scare when he was popping off. Back in the day, you had Reginald, was amazing, Santorin, Lustboy. You know, like, is he going to be the guy that's going to, like, be the Doublelift type of player? Because, like, if you're taking away Doublelift because of that drama situation that happened in the offseason, okay, you got to get something better, because I'm truly not the believer of replacing someone just to replace someone. You have to be replacing someone for a good reason, though. If you're getting something better, you know,
I think that there's higher upside with King. Personally speaking,
true. King is amazing, dude. King is actually insane.
I think he has major flaws. I think that King does have major flaws, which is that he doesn't have a pullback switch. He reminds me of old Wild Turtle in the sense that he can go very aggressive, but he doesn't necessarily fully calculate. So he's much more Wild Turtle than he is Sven. That's the way I would refer to King. So it would be, I think that stylistically though, they should try that. At least have it as a backup option and split the time with them, because you need a little more out of your ADC if you get him.
Well, then why not just promote Cody-san? Because literally Cody-san is on TSM's academy team.
Because he's been playing really poorly. I don't know if you've checked out academy, but
Cody-san has his own issues too. Like, he's one of those, like, lose lane, win game 80. He's like a worse version of Sneaky, or a better version, give or take. And like,
I think he's a worse version of Lost. He's literally exactly the same. I think that he definitely can carry team fights harder than Lost can, but he falls behind like no one else. I don't think that he's an ADC you want to have with this team unless you're 100% settled on team fight, top lane carry meta.
Yeah, and we are also looking at the other players on TSM for this 2021 LCS spring split. Looking at Huni, I think Huni definitely proved people wrong. I think he definitely played better than what we expected. But, you know, at that point, could you just got someone different that does the same thing and potentially has more upside to it? Like, let's be honest here, dude. Impact played better than him. So he was just on a worse team. Like, he played pretty much how Huni did, except way better. And he actually carried a lot of the games, too, that they even ended up winning at all, because EG only went 9-9. Impact carried most of those games by himself.
I don't know. The two things that I would have changed over the offseason, which I thought that TSM would change, is going after a rookie talent like Johnson. Why would you not do that when he's on the come up and he's probably much cheaper than a lot of the superstar ADCs that you're going to get?
Because they passed on him once.
Yeah, I mean that's just like you're not admitting the fact that you let him go, and like that's just bad, right? And Licorice was much cheaper than Impact. We know that for a fact now. And they just passed on him because they didn't think he was a good fit. In what world do you see Licorice and say that you're not a good fit, but Huni, you are? That's just bad GMing.
Well, was it? Well, I mean, was it that they passed on Licorice, or that they passed on the combo package? Because it wasn't that the thing with FlyQuest why they picked up Palafox and Diamond, because Jack like lumped them together with Licorice?
No, not with Licorice. Palafox, Diamond, and who's the Johnson was only going to join if Palafox and Diamond were going to join, and who was their jungler?
Jose. Jose.
So they once they figured out that Jose Diodo was looking, that's when they went hard on Licorice. Correct me if I'm wrong, MSK. Is this incorrect? Licorice was not part of the combo package, was he?
No, Licorice was bought. Licorice that day when the news came in, he joined with. He went by himself, actually. I remember it was a solo video that I did. Licorice joined by himself. Palafox and Diamond were together, right? Because then you also people need to remember this too. Lost was going to be on EG, but then the double lifting happened too. I think Johnson was originally going to be. Sorry, they were going to have a different ADC beside Johnson or Lost, because Lost was supposed to be on EG, remember? But double lift sort out situation happened. So I think, to be fair, TSM, it's not like they did bad in the offseason before this spring split happened, but it's like I kind of normally associate TSM with big moves, like big player signings. Like, imagine a roster of Impact, Spica, Power of Evil, and Johnson and Sword Art. That probably is a pretty solid roster right there. That could contend with Team Liquid in some areas. I think Johnson could be better than Tactical in some games where you're playing certain types of champions. But what do we think about TSM moving forward? Because that'll go into 100 Thieves, which is 100 Thieves now have Abadage. And you guys have been watching the LEC. Do you guys think that Abadage is better than Power Vivo? Because if he is, that's a problem for TSM. Like, they also have Reaper that's a head coach now. So we'll have to see, Reaper and Bjergsen kind of mold their teams differently. But you have Someday, and I don't think Someday's as bad as people made him out to be, man. I just don't. I think he just had a bad split. And everyone's going to have a bad split. At some point, you're going to have a bad one. You can't always play like that.
I think this all depends on Abadage's mindset coming into NA. I always reserve judgment on EU mid laners that come here, like Febiven and Boaz. There's a lot of EU players that do come here and are in it for all the wrong reasons. I don't think that's going to be the case because he's joining a team like 100 Thieves, who definitely have the potential to go the distance. But if he's as tryhard as Someday, if Reaper gets the most out of this team in terms of synergy, they're 100% better than TSM. There's not a single lane that TSM has that's superior. There's not a single one.
Closer at his peak is better than Spica. Someday at his peak is better than Huni. Abadage is actually better than Power Vivo. He's just Power Vivo, but better in terms of he can play the carries. He can also play weak side, but it's not a weak side mid laner. He can also play a weak side mid laner. Like Corki, we saw that 1v3 outplay from Fnatic when they ran into him. That was crazy.
Sorry, can't hear you. Going into the tunnel. What?
Oh my god!
And also, I think that their bot lane is
good. Bot lane.
You think it's better? I think it's much better. Obviously, individually, you can say that Sword Art is better than Huni or Huhi.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's necessarily true because
how much is that going to be weighed out between Lost? Because at that point, it's just literally Lost.
No, but the synergy of FBI and Huhi is definitely way better.
And to me, they just have the better players in their bot lane too. Like in terms of if you're lumping in the players separately, Sword Art's better than Huhi, but then FBI is so much better than Lost. At that point, it's just like you have to literally just talk about their bot lane synergy and how they play the game. Because in most of the games that 100 Thieves did lose, it wasn't because of their bot lane at all. That's because the whole rest of the map just collapsed around them. They were pretty solid. They've been a good bot lane the entire time. And it sucks though because the way you play League now, you just can't really play to the bot lane like that consistently.
It's jungle diff.
It's mid jungle diff. That's what they struggled with. The mid laner could never get prio for Closer to be able to do his shit. And whenever he did have prio, Closer would get the advantage but not be able to translate it to the mid lane because it depended on which mid laner they had, but they would never be able to translate their mid jungle duo advantage.
Yeah.
So the issue of Closer is last year he looked by far and away second best jungler next to Blabber. But this year coming in, he just looked like he didn't know what to do. All around the map, he was just clueless. So, but the issue here is jungle is so integral to how a team plays, though, that if you're not in sync with your jungler in at least one lane, your jungler is going to look lost. So when Mark C put out that list of him being the 8th best jungler, if you guys, not you guys specifically, people, if you were watching the games, he kind of was at certain games. He looked like he was pretty bad, I
don't think that the jungle role is, and I literally can say this from my past 5 solo queue games. Jungle is a mid diff pre 7 minutes, and then after 7 minutes, it's jungle diff is the reason why your solo lanes are diffed. That's how it's supposed to be. Mid lane enables the jungler early game. Sometimes it's the bot lane support roam, but most of the times it's mid laner that enables the jungler early game to be able to make aggressive plays and set up vision. And then the third clear is where the jungler can then extend his pressure to the lanes or use that pressure to do dragons.
So correct me if I'm wrong. So back then, when you could jungle effectively the way you want, you could get a first blood and still be level 4 or 5. Now, if you try and get first blood and you sacrifice camps, you're 3 levels behind, right?
Yes, correct. And also, additionally,
horrible! Holy shit!
Additionally, if you fall behind in the jungle clear and you cannot get a dragon off of that pressure difference, you're completely fucked because there's actually no win con for you. You're just going to be permanently behind the whole game. Before the Rift play was the reason why Closer could do what very aggressive things that he could do. Now Rift is just objectively worse compared to Dragon, unless the Dragon is off the map, in which case you can do Rift. But first drag is just usually for most teams it's just much stronger.
The other team I wanted to talk about.
I think it depends on priority though.
Yeah,
like first dragon's important, yeah, but I think like first turret or like a bunch of turret plates can equal out.
But I'm saying like you can't really play the same top lane champions that you used to in order to be able to use that Rift play to make a massive difference. Like generally speaking, if you're falling behind levels as a jungler, what type of player you're going to make where someone is dead on the map that you can use the Rift and break open a tower? Like we're not LPL, we don't dive at level 3 top lane, you know, like we're not very good at playing through the top side. So in that case, bot lane just becomes OP in our region, and so dragons are just OP in our region, dragon stacking.
Well, that's why lane swaps are coming back.
I hope they do. That'd be a nice little variation to the game if lane swaps did, because I think Alfari said.
I mean, that's what C9 did to C9 did that to TL in the finals.
Well, that was a very specific strategy. That was a really specific strategy.
Like for me, I would like if lane swaps came back because it would bring a lot more, what's that word? Variation, diverse play to the game. But to be fair, if you do that and you fail at it, it's gonna look good when it's good, but it's gonna look bad when it's bad. You know, I don't want some bad team just trying that and just basically throwing games that they knew they were gonna lose anyway. You know, if they just played standard. But the other team I wanted to talk about was Evil Geniuses. So another big disappointment team. Like they need a new mid and a new AD carry. I don't think Ignar is that bad to a certain extent. There's no way that this guy goes from like top 3 support last year to whatever he looks like right now. The team is just not good. You know, and it's not just Jizuke either. Like, yeah, he's a coin flip mid laner, but then again, there's so much to team variance in just one mid laner, you know, and it's the same thing people kept saying with 100 Thieves, right? They were, it's Ryoma's fault. Everything's Ryoma's fault. No, it's not how that works. You guys are actually brain dead if you think that. It's not how that works. It wasn't just Ryoma was like, you know what? I'm just going every single lane and just lose them all. Nope, because he wasn't even that good to begin with. So, and it's not like DeMonte was actually that much better. Let's be honest here. Was he like that much better than him?
No.
So that's my thing. It's like 100 Thieves made the variation to get a new mid laner, which was good. Evil Geniuses, if they keep the same roster, that's probably going to be like a borderline playoff team. I think in an ideal scenario,
definitely.
I think in an ideal scenario,
borderline is in 7th or 8th or 5th or 6th because it's still top 8 go to playoffs.
Well, down for this split, yeah. So like, I think they'll barely make playoffs to a certain extent. 7th, 8th. 6th place.
I think they're definitively the 5th best team. No, which team would you put above?
That's my thing though. Is like who you put above them. No one really. FlyQuest, fuck no. Dig, it depends. You know.
Yeah, I think that they're the 5th best team, even with Deathly. I think that if they switch Deathly for someone who can actually, I don't know. It's so tough. ADC is super weak now that Sneaky and Doublelift are gone.
And yet EG has like some of the best academy and amateur like players that they could pull from, like Shoryu, Jojo Pune, Shiro.
Shiro, yeah, but you're not going to replace Impact, you know. But
they have a good top side. Impact and Scarin are good. They were a reason why they're winning all their games. It's not the top side for them that's bad. It's bot side with Jizuke. Between Jizuke and Deathly, if they get rid of those players, I think they might have a competent team.
It's tough. It's really tough because I'm not sure that their academy player is better than Deathly. You would think that if he was, that they would have made the change. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I haven't seen enough academy games.
Maybe King could go over there with Ignar and play with him.
That would be really interesting. I think that King deserves a shot.
What's up, Ryan? What do you think about T1 as the TSM of Korea, said by I Will Dominate? So me and my friend just talked about that. T1 is successful. They should never even be in the same realm of comparative as TSM should never be compared to T1 ever. That is a horrible comparison. I heard that. No,
maybe fans wise.
I was gonna say maybe like regional dominance, maybe.
But like T1 has won worlds. Like they've won worlds though. That's like they won oversized worlds and splits. Like TSM would be like the shit on their fucking shoe that they step on.
Yeah, the thing is that LCK doesn't really have
about regional.
Regional, probably.
Look at how many. Yeah.
I don't think that LCK has a team like C9 as a comparison. I think that if you had to choose a TSM team from LCK, like it would be SKT because of fan base and like, the fandom. But I think that the better comparison is like Fnatic to TSM and then G2 to C9. Like I think those are like much more similar teams.
Yeah, I agree with that because people always compared like Fnatic to Cloud9. That's not true because they beat TSM because they were first and they were dominant. G2 or Cloud9 because they came into the league smashing. Like, and my God, TSM and Fnatic fans are like crazy. But to be fair, like people only kind of highlight the bad ones. I've talked to a lot of nice Fnatic fans. I've had them even on past shows.
They just have a much larger fan base in general. So generally speaking, the crazy fans are a lot more vocal and a lot more, I don't know. Like there's another crazy fan with that first crazy fan to justify the first crazy fan. So he thinks that he's, justified in his opinions, his crazy ass opinion. So then he's loud about it. And I think that's like massive fan bases will always suffer from those few delusional fans. But yeah.
And then the last team to talk about, because guys, the other teams for the LCS are trash, like Golden Guardians, yikes. Dignitas, I hope it wasn't I did good one split, I do bad next. I truly think they have a pretty okay LCS average team,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And by okay, I mean on the lowest spectrum. I do think Dardoch played out of his mind this split, and so did Afro. But like at the end of the day, with a weak top laner and a weak mid, they're not going to get far though. Like Afro and Dardoch played
weak
well.
Mid, yes, weak top, arguable.
Like it depends on where do you see Dig going. If you want to see Dig pull off an upset against a TSM or 100 Thieves, do you see it happening? Because like I see them as a playoff team, knocked out first round, or they pull off an upset, then get knocked out the next round. That's how I see them.
I see Dig going to the playoffs and then going home. That's what I see. I don't know. You know how like in every anime there's like that one throwaway character that you just throw in the middle just to get beat up a little bit and then move
like Shikamaru and Rock Lee.
No, Shikamaru was dope, dude. Fuck
okay.
Don't disrespect Lee though. What the hell?
Lee was only good for that Gara fight, and after he fell off a cliff.
No. Dignitas is Tamari, okay? Like Shikamaru will just give her a dub just for the sake of it, and then never becomes relevant again.
Oh shit! Oh, Tamari, Tamari was actually useless after a bit, though. Oh my god! I
think the best part about that show was when she was like, "I'm the strongest wind style user here," and then Naruto just shows up with his wind Rasengan.
Enters Naruto Shippuden like moderate. Remember Dragon Ball Z? Birder was like, "I'm the fastest warrior in the universe." Oh shit! Couldn't imagine this guy fighting Hit, but that's just me. But for Dignitas, I hope it's not the league was so bad that team almost got second place. Remember, before that final week, they almost got second place if they had actually won a few more games. That's crazy to think about. Like, I generally think, and I'm not ashamed to admit that, I put Dardoch as my MVP of the league and Afro in my third team, like it was third or second team All-Pro team. They played really well. Like, if you watch the game, they played great. But I don't know if, like, where can they improve from? Because like their fan base is going to be really mad if they import a player because they kind of brand themselves as an A team. So when your fan base is supposed to like look at you as an A team and you bring in an import to improve your team, what do you justify to them?
I don't think they will. I mean, all they need to do is like get Soligo up like a rank. Like if he's like a C rank mid, he get him to like be B rank. And I think it's better because Fake God is serviceable. He knows how to do his lane well.
He improved actually. He improved a lot. Yeah. Last time I saw him, oh my god, like he's not dead weight trash like he was before. So if it's just the mid lane. There's some academy mid laners I saw that could be pretty competent. Like I still think Yasui's not that bad. C9's academy mid laner Copy's not that bad. I think, but he might need some more time though. He like some of his. I saw a Seraphine play. he needs more time. He needs a little bit more time.
He doesn't play very well with his jungler. That's
but that's the thing. Though, like, and Dardoch doesn't play well with this mid either. Why is Dardoch always like that? Never plays well with anyone.
Dardoch is a Jensen of the jungler, jungle role. Like he's really good at this one thing, which is getting himself ahead, and that's all he's good at.
And then the last thing to talk about is Team Liquid. So I think TL will still continue to be the second place team behind Cloud9 potentially. They have upsides to being better than Cloud9. Because they still have good players though. They have the players. You can see them overtaking Cloud9. But
Team Liquid and Cloud9 are neck and neck. I I don't think that even after MSI, I think that C9 is going to be way stronger. If Santorin ever figures out a way to gel with Alfari, especially, that team is really, really good at in laning phase. So,
well, that's what you hope they're doing right now. I mean, Santorin's all healed up as far as I could tell. So
yeah. So like, if next split goes on and TL's first place for a good majority, I'm not surprised. They have a really good team. What's there to be surprised about?
How many games behind C9 are they? Are they like 1 or 2 games behind C9?
So TL 2-0'd them during the split, and then C9 won. It was 6-2 in the playoffs, right? No, 6-3 because they won 3-1 or 3-1 against them twice. Sorry, 3-2. Yeah, 6-3.
No, I mean like the actual standings. Like what are the
13-5. I'm pretty sure Cloud9 was like 13-5 actually. Wikipedia.
So TL was what, 14-4?
No, they actually did pretty. Let me see right now. Don't worry.
Okay,
I got you.
C9 was 13-5. TL was 12-6.
So it lost about as many games. No.
So they're a game behind each other going into the second half of the year.
And then in playoffs,
records carry over.
Yeah, and then you had playoffs, and they won 3-1, and then they won 3-2. So they won more games against them in the playoffs than they did, obviously, in the regular season. So I don't see TL as a bad team though. There's a few things they can improve on, like integrating Santorin more. Like, why is Santorin not playing towards Jensen? Like, he just left him on an island.
Jensen can't play with the jungler ever.
Ever, yeah. That's just a Jensen thing at this point. It's literally just a Jensen.
That's why I said Alfari needs to be able.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that's just the Alfari effect. I mean,
also Core JJ and Tactical. Tactical needs to stop doing this LWX thing where he just randomly just runs in and gets caught out.
True. That was very surprising this season. He did a lot of that.
He just would go into fog of war, no vision, just gets exploded, give away Baron and lose. I was like, what is this?
I really want to see him.
He's moved through that burnout.
Yeah, I think that Tactical's definitely able to be on par with a lot of the top ADCs. He definitely has a aggressive playstyle compared to Sven, but he needs to be able to pull it off in order to beat C9. He needs to be a major threat because their bot lane is too good, like with Core JJ.
After this year, if they don't win a title or they don't do well at Worlds, I don't see Tactical being on the roster anymore.
Wait, no, he has to be. Who would you replace him with?
Do you know TL TL loves replacing players?
They don't have an import.
You're right.
They don't have an import.
They just pull, like, they either buy out FBI, they buy Johnson, they get Neo. Like, there are domestic AD carries they can use that would work well with Core JJ.
FBI, Core JJ.
FBI, Core JJ. Yeah. That sounds like a pretty good ball lane right there.
Oh my god!
Shit.
I'm just saying, like, if they don't Tactical, it's no big deal. There are options.
In TL's past, they've always liked to upgrade the weakest player. And I'm not saying Tactical is the weakest player, but that's just what Steve does. He always upgrades, man. He upgrades something. He'll find something to upgrade. And then that's what I was saying with Fudge earlier this year. Is like, if he doesn't play well, he's getting out of there. I don't care what people like. I don't care if people like him at all. That's just how it's going to work. If you don't play well in teams like this, who are the best teams in the league, you just get kicked. That's just how sports work, Imagine C9 with someday.
Doesn't Sven get residency?
I think he already has it.
What?
Because he came in what, 2015 or 2016?
2018 he came.
He doesn't have residency right now. If they had residency, they would not be Fudge top lane.
No, because
wait, are we talking about Sven or Svenskeren? Sorry,
Sven. Z.
Oh, yeah, okay. So he would get it at the end of 2022, unless he gets his green card ahead of time. Because you have to spend 4 full years in NA. So Sven takes up an import slot for 1 more year.
Yeah. So let's just go ahead and do that, and then snag Alfari real quick. And
if Cloud9 had Alfari, that's just a monopoly on the league. They're just not going to be losing.
So this is what
if they can hold on to Bladder, though.
As an NA fan, what you really want to see is C9 perform to a level of expectation minimum at MSI. I don't expect them to get anywhere past 4th personally, but if they can at the very minimum get 3rd or 4th and not fail out of groups and then come back playing much better, bringing back international styles like Damn Ones and RNGs to NA, that and just absolutely dumpster the league. That's what you want to see as an NA fan, because that's going to make other teams in NA play to the early game and play to enable their jungler and play aggressive League of Legends. Not this passive, let's scale for late shit that always happens in the summer. I don't want to see it again, and I really hope that C9 is like the pioneer of that.
All right, boys. I think we kind of wrapped it up pretty well. Like, the only last thing I was going to say is, like, someone said that, Golden Guardians was going to be better than CLG. I'm like, these guys are brand new to the league. There's no way they're automatically going to be better than veterans. I mean, I was proven right, so that's good enough by me. Because, like, there's no way some fucking new player from college is going to know how to play at the LCS level competitively in their very first play. Not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's just... It doesn't really matter how bad CLG are. They're just better right now. Now, I agree that the players can improve, but first split to do all that, I'm good.
No, right. I mean, that's why you feel bad for people like not only Iconic and Niles, but if you look back through history at like Mike Young or like Contracts, people that were just like brought up straight from solo queue right into LCS, and the differences their career paths took.
I mean, Contracts got another chance in 100 Thieves. And I feel like Mike Young got more
Golden Guardians.
Golden Guardians.
Golden Guardians contracts. He just looked like trash on Golden Guardians, but I think everyone will look trash there. All right,
and guys. Now he's he's on EG where he's like right behind Svenskeren, so who knows?
All right, so we have our post LCS 2021 spring split tier list. All right, where are you guys putting the teams at? So let's just do this automatically. So Golden Guardians right there, right? I'm pretty sure there's no debate there. They played like trash. Okay, so let's knock out the.
I mean, C9 Team Liquid, both A, right? Like,
yeah.
They're a clear tier above everyone else right now.
Okay.
And then you put 100 Thieves, and you're saying, wait, this is just the performance so far, right? Or predicting?
Yeah. Just post the split after C9 wins now.
Yeah, then 100 Thieves and TSM are obviously.
And Dig are all
B
tier.
Well, TSM and B tier?
TSM and B are around the same level.
Yeah, TSM 100 Thieves B. Okay. Dig C?
B.
No,
B?
C. They're definitely a tier. They're a tier below TSM and 100 Thieves for sure.
Yeah, because they lost to both of those guys. Because they lost to 100 Thieves. They lost to 100 Thieves, and then I forgot they're only in the one round. They got destroyed, man.
I think they're the same.
Yeah, but they beat TSM twice during the regular season, so I don't think it's fair to say that they're a whole tier below TSM.
I don't know. I count playoffs a little higher because you have picks and bans and you can adapt to one strategy. I don't know. I think that a lot of their picks were jungle picks that were kind of cheese that they ended up winning with, which props to them for the regular season performance. I don't know. I would say EG is closer to TSM than Dig even.
Let's see right here. Sorry about that. A little bigger. So CLG, where'd you guys put them at?
D tier.
D tier. Yeah.
D.
Yeah, I was gonna say D tier because like it doesn't really matter if you're getting like 5,000 gold leads. They just literally ran it and griefed every single lead they had, except the one time against Cloud9. That was just unlucky. The one time they actually had a lead, they won. Oh my god.
Yeah.
FlyQuest also.
I like C tier personally.
See, I was gonna say D, man. These guys played bad too. These guys played really bad, man.
I think that they have really decent solo laners, and I think that their biggest weakness is their support. I don't think that they have any glaring weakness besides support. That's the way I'll.
Well, that's why the rumors right now is that they're replacing their support.
Yeah, forgot there was the rumor
they're starting Dreams instead
Thank
of
God, dude.
Diamond.
Diamond ran it so hard every game. Like it's very visible. This guy just kept running it. IMT C tier or D?
C tier.
It's close. I'll give him C. They're like right in the middle there. It depends on what happens with.
So there would be this like gap. So you have C9, TL, 100 Thieves, TSM, 100 Thieves, TSM, Dig. The rest of these guys, if you put these guys all in D tier, I probably wouldn't care. They all played really bad at so various moments.
Yeah.
Like CLG had moments where they looked good. FlyQuest had moments where they looked good. But then again, you have to factor in 5 weeks of gameplay.
I feel like EG is above the other two teams actually. Now that that makes sense. Is like
here's EG. EG's right
I think
here.
they're C tier. Yeah.
Yeah, they're about they're C tier.
Like the way I look at Dig and EG are like they're both like a player from being a TSM level contender. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like if EG had replaced Deftly with a top tier ADC, if Dignitas replaced their I guess their mid jungle synergy somehow. That's the issue, right? Like, it's not their individual parts are bad. I think Saligo and Fake God are fine. I think that the issue is that Saligo and Dardoch are not fine. Like the combination of the two. So like that, it's very close to being like a competent team.
Yeah, because like they don't have a bad bot lane. Neo and Afrim are a solid bot lane. I just think it's. I'm not saying Saligo and Fake God play horrifically bad like Palafox and Diamond or Licorice, but if they want to do better and they want to be shown as better, they gotta improve somewhere, man. You know, it's one of those tough decisions you have to make. Like EG as a solid team, I would probably just have them there. Like they just didn't play better than any of these guys. Even 100 Thieves After Worst played better. That's so bad. 100 Thieves After Worst played better. So for TSM, I think B tier is fine for them. They did show that they're still, even with their weaker roster, confident to still do stuff around the map. Now, is it good stuff around the map? Probably not. But then again, it's better than the rest of these other guys here. And they did get third. So also, guys, there's 6 people watching. So make sure you guys, like the stream and comment down below in the live chat as we're talking here. But yeah, C9, TL, I definitely think they're still head and shoulders the best teams. That's just, but like I didn't have an S tier because I still don't think Cloud9 played S tier level throughout the entire like regular season. But in playoffs, even still, like they made some mistakes in playoffs too. So that's why I didn't have an S tier right here. I thought just A, B, C, D was fine. Honestly, most people are gonna ask. Criteria for this, guys, is obviously just the end of LCS 2021 spring split. That's it. I think the LCS, looking at all these bad, quote unquote, bad teams here, you're thinking to yourself, like, what can any of them do to improve? Like, I mean, to be fair, there are 8 teams.
I think next season, 100 Thieves are potentially in that A- category, B+ category. Yeah. And TSM is a clear cut below them. Just roster strength, purely. We'll see if the coaching diff is there. I don't think it will be.
Yeah, because you weren't really on that Reaper hype train like a lot of people were.
No, I don't think Reaper is. I think he is a good coach for a team that is struggling. I'll put it that way.
If you want to talk mid jungle synergy, like Abadage coming in just comes in with synergy with Closer. So
that's good. Yeah,
that is true.
But they haven't played together for a very long time, though. They've been put on Royal Bandits in.
Do you remember
2 years?
Do you remember when they did play together? If Closer was a beast or not?
No, I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
Yeah, I think that's what got him out there to be picked up by Golden Guardians in the first place.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it. Yeah, the LCS was pretty much an open-ended book this split. I mean, most of people's predictions came true. The only thing I got wrong was I put TSM like 5th, but to be fair, based on pre-expectations, I'm still not saying I was wrong. But like, other than that, 100 Thieves did get 4th. People did say this is going to be a 4th place team. They did get 4th, but in terms of actual gameplay, yeah, that's a bad 4th place team,
Yeah.
Oh, so if you guys are new, we're gonna do something quick. We're gonna do some bets because I know T-Root loves to prove me wrong about a lot of teams he's right about. He just loves rubbing it in my face.
That's my EU love.
All right, guys. So here we go. So they put up the schedules for MSI 2021 for the schedule right here for the games. So we have day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 days worth of gameplay right here. So here's what we're gonna
fucking wait. Oh my god, I'm so excited,
dude! Right?
The first game.
Let me try and make this a little bit bigger for you guys right here. Oh my god, get away from me, porn link. Stop.
I will be watching this live, by the way. The C9 versus Damwon game.
Oh yeah, a banger! We got a banger to open this up. C9 playing with Damwon. All right, so
commentary.
Who wants to keep score about all our picks? So for wildcard teams,
I'll keep score.
Okay, so for wildcard teams, I know for sure you guys don't watch. Those will count as 2 points because that's a wild card. You got that as extra, right? But for main region teams like Damwon, Cloud9, RNG, and Mad Lions, those are the main region teams if they won, actually. So if you're picking like Detonation, Fuck Me, and Gilletti Infinity, you get extra points for that. That makes sense? Super simple, easy.
Sure.
All right, T-Riff. So who are we gonna put in? We'll put in me, Kofta, yourself, Warren, Ravioli, and EO, right? So that's 6 people.
Yeah, if people want to just DM me over Discord what their predictions are, I'll put together a whole spreadsheet and shit and make it official looking.
Okay, so let's do it for day one. Dan1 versus Cloud9, the opening banger. Who wins this? I love Cloud9, but Dan1 are winning, baby.
No. Dan1 is an infinitely better team. Cloud9's going to win this one game.
And then next time around get smashed, right?
Yes.
Or it could be
the reason why I think that is because I believe they're going to come in with prep that you just have after 3 or 4 weeks or whatever that Dan1's not going to be expecting. The next time around, they're going to smash them because they're not going to be surprised. But I think that C9 is a creative team. Unlike most NA teams we generally send to international events, C9 always comes in with some kind of creative strategy, and I think that they have a real chance with a huge early game lead. That's what they got to go for, a massive early game stop.
All right, so I see it two ways. This only ever happens two ways. Cloud9 comes out the gate swinging, they smash them, and then the next time around, they lose to them. Or Dan1 smashes them and Cloud9 beats them the second time around.
I don't think that there's any chance that they beat them next week.
Yeah, after Dan1 started racking up, I think it's just game over for a lot of these teams. This is a tough one. Root, who are you picking?
I'm sticking with Dan1.
What's up, K4? How you doing, man? C9 will smash it. Damn. Oh, shit. Damn, smashing them?
Only in the first game. Only in the first game. And then I'm done.
I can't trust Sven at an international event. I'm sorry.
Yes, but I am so excited to see Blabber at an international event where he's the starting jungler, dude. I'm telling you, this guy is something special. And I hope that he proves me right at MSI.
All right, I'm saying Dan1. I'm sorry, Cloud9. You'll win the second time around. I'll predict it the second time around, but Dan1's win this. Kulfta's going to be a prophet god if he predicts this correct. All right, this is just a random toss-up one, but I'll just say Detonation focus me. Whatever.
Yep, me too.
It doesn't even matter.
Infinity Esports.
I love the variation.
Who is Infinity from? Japanese, right?
Japanese is Detonation.
No, Dead FM is Japanese.
Oh, never mind.
Infinity is the LATAM.
The other one.
Oh, Latin America.
Infinity's LATAM.
Yeah, then I predict.
Wait, Japan is no. Japan is terrible. Gillette. Yes. Oh my god. So I'm saying Dan1, Gillette, RNG versus Penta. Is that even a discussion? I know you guys are picking RNG.
I mean,
yeah,
RNG.
Unicorns of Love versus Penta. Unicorns of Love, baby.
Pentanet.
What?
I don't know anything about Pentanet.
Me, I'm
picking Unicorns of Love purely based on name recognition.
Pain Gaming and Pussycats.
I'm going with the Wildcats. Yeah.
The name
Where's the Wildcats from? What region?
Wildcats
Turkey.
is Turkey. Pain Gaming
is
they're
the Istanbul
Brazil, right?
Wildcats. Yeah.
Pain Gaming is Brazil because they have BRTT, so that's going to be a CB lol. I'll say Pain Gaming actually.
Brazil just always disappoints for some reason. But
Brazil always disappoints. They're bad as Japan, dude. Brazil was horrible last year.
I will root for Brazil because they do have fun fans. So I'll go with Pain Gaming.
And Mad Lions versus PSG. Do keep this in mind. They won't have Unified as their jungler. Yeah, but Mad Lions are probably going to win, right?
Yeah.
Well,
right?
Wait, is it their jungler that they have to replace or their AD carry?
No. Oh, it was Unified, right? It was their jungler or AD carry won't be with them for PSG.
It's their AD carry. You're thinking of Worlds last year where they had to replace Unified with Kai Wing.
Okay, yeah, okay, thank you. Yes,
but this tournament, they have to replace their AD carry because of travel restrictions.
Oh my god, dude, sucks. They never can get something right. They always have issues for international tournaments. I feel bad when people have to fucking can't have their full roster for a week or something like that. But I'll still say Mad Lions though. Yeah. All right, Root, did you get all the predictions down?
Yeah, I'll go back and listen to the VOD, and I'll put everything together.
Okay, so for
we're
in
Ravioli. If you're out there, DM me your predictions.
Okay, so for me, Dan1, Gillette, RNG, Unicorns of Love, Pain Gaming, and Mad Lions. I'm sorry, Cloud9, I love you, but you have to prove it to me. You prove your love. All right, second day is Penta, GG, RNG. Come on, let's be honest here. I know what you guys are picking.
Yeah, RNG is
RNG, yeah.
RNG both times? Because they face
Unicorns over RNG.
What? Let's go. I love variation.
I don't buy it.
RNG speed run to undefeated in the group.
Are you predicting an RNG collapse then?
Me? No, I just Russia is one of those teams that always kind of surprises, so it's hard to see what happens with them, but I could see them taking a game off of, honestly.
Interesting. Okay.
I'll say RNG win twice. Gillette versus Dan1. I'm pretty sure you guys will just say Damn One. Dead Nation Focus Me versus Cloud9. Cloud9. Mad Lions versus Fast Play. Mad Lions versus Wildcats. Mad Lions. This is the only interesting one. PSG versus Pain. I think PSG win this actually.
Pain.
All right.
That would be so disappointing if Pain loses against PSG and also loses the first week. Brazilian fans are actually gonna just ship them a bunch of turkeys. Man.
Saturday, RNG Unicorns of Love rematch.
I'll say RNG for that one.
RNG to Saturdays, yeah. I'm just gonna pick RNG no matter what, except if it's Unicorns of Love right here. So I'll say RNG, Unicorns of Love, Damn One versus Dead Nation, Damn One. Gillette versus Gillette.
Side bet. What's the time for Damn One versus Dead Nation? Focus me.
Oh shit, 19 minutes.
I think they'll win in 21 minutes and only lose one turret. We'll see.
Oh God, Pain versus Mad Lions.
Mad
Lions. PSG Wildcats. PSG
Wildcats.
And now this is the actual.
I'm actually predicting C9 to go 3-0 in the first.
Really? Yeah, no. You're the only guy doing it.
Oh no,
I'm not. They're going 1-2.
And then on starting this day right here, so Sunday, it'll be just specifically group day play because as you guys already know, for the days before, it's just kind of the groups all over the place, and then this is the specific day. So the only bet here would be, could Unicorns of Love get first place though? If Unicorns of Love get first place, that'd be crazy.
It's possible, yeah. I could see it happening.
They do have a crazy play style. Their play style is so random. I know that could be something that'll throw off RNG. But then again, is that going to happen like every single game? You know?
No, I mean, I feel like they could, split down the middle with RNG. It's just I feel like it's a matter of Pentanet playing spoiler in some cases, like if they can get some surprise wins.
So this is Sunday. So we'll do the first 3 days though, because I don't want to predict that far. Actually, so we'll kind of write our predictions later on because this is just Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Because predicting, Thursday,
Saturday.
Yeah, because going down this far is like you basically just only be predicting Unicorns of Love and RNG for this one. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys aren't going to pick any, like Penta in a lot of these games though.
You're right. It does kind of depend on how the first three days go. Yeah, honestly.
So I'll kind of halt it right here. So our predictions will go up to this day, and then we'll kind of just go on Discord and just pick who we're gonna say, because by this point we'll know how these teams play. Because if we're going to C9's day, C9 faces Damn One again when it's their turn first. At this point, I think C9 will take this game. C9 will smash them this time around. Compton's going for the C9 undefeated streak. C9's gonna go undefeated.
No.
Damn One for this one.
Oh, Damn One for this one? Okay, yeah, I forgot you said that. Yeah, it's like, I'm be honest here, like C9 and Damn One are probably so far ahead, it doesn't really matter if these other guys. Dude, Japan has always been bad at these things, man. Japan sucks. The team last year was atrocious, man. They never send a good team, and I don't think they even have that good of players. But then again, that's just me. So right here, T-Root, when you listen back to the VOD, this is where we'll stop it, okay? On the Saturday games. All right, so that's pretty much that. And then we will cover the last bit of news, which is, tomorrow go into it about Fnatic, which is, Bwipo and Selfmade. So it's not even just about Bwipo and Selfmade. It's more like Fnatic in general. You know what I mean? Like, since they're potentially losing all of these legacy players, like they've lost Caps, Reckless, they're potentially losing Bwipo and Selfmade. Hillsing only signed on for a 1-year contract extension. Is there a world you see Fnatic kind of falling out of that top 3, top 4, and being kind of like a 5th place LEC team? Because if they don't have enough money to purchase the good players, though, we'll see a luring attraction for them. Because if they don't have the best players sometimes will take pay cuts to build those better players. But if they don't have the money and they count down the players, what's the point of joining them at that point? Is this a worrying concern for Fnatic moving forward after this year?
No.
I think it is. I think that they have a history of underpaying and trying to recruit off of brand name. I think they've done it for too long now, and it's starting to bite them because they have become G2's academy team. And
oh god, you're the resident Fnatic hater.
I guess I'm a resident Fnatic and TSM hater because I just hate the way that their general managers handle things. Like it's such an insane brand. They were 2 games away from. Oh no! Did they get 3-0 against IG? I'm forgetting if they got.
They beat them twice in the group stage. They got 3-0 in the finals.
Okay. So, they were 3 games away from winning Worlds, and after that, they lost Cap.
They've already won
They
Worlds.
lost Reckless. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
They lost Caps. They lost Reckless. They all in on Bwipo, which is always a bad idea. And
Soaz also left, too. People forget that guy. He left. He was a pretty big...
They replaced him with Bwipo, right?
Yeah, but he was a big integral, part to their... I want to say culture or their org for a very long time.
Yeah, they lost Yellow Star to TSM. Before that, they lost Huni.
But then he came back.
He came back for a little bit, and then he retired after that too. Yeah, he retired right after that.
Most top level players that play for that team don't end up staying. And
Febiven didn't either, but he left.
Exactly,
came back,
for more money.
Yeah,
more money, right? And at some point, how are you the biggest brand in esports? In the Western esports, besides TSM, and you can't retain any of your talent. There's got to be a question mark had at that point, which is like, if you're going through a financial pain right now, okay, but there were other teams that were also going through the same issues as you, but still managed to build amazing rosters and outperform you. Like
Origin in 2019, when they had that other kind of super team that went under the radar, they beat Fnatic in that split.
I mean, I can joke about Team Liquid beating TSM, but at least they got 3rd place. How are you losing to Schalke?
Dude, Schalke should be much of a lower tier than Fnatic in every metric.
And a lot of their issues stem from, in my opinion, lack of coaching staff and developmental coaches that can actually synergize a team together. It seems like they don't know how to draft a team that's cohesive off of the Rift as well as on the Rift. And they're drafting big personalities in Bwipo, Hillisang, Selfmade. At some point, you have to reevaluate and say, maybe you're not very good at this whole GM thing, and your brand has carried you for X number of years, just
it's one of those things where, anytime I see a Fnatic draft, to me, it just feels like it's prepped well in advance, and they're not doing too much variation in it, though. They already know what they're going to pick. There's most of their compositions throughout most of the years I've seen for metas just look the same, Even now, they always, even during this split in particular, they drafted every single time they played that fast aggression playstyle, the comps looked almost the exact same with a few different variations. There would be maybe a support or jungle different variation. Most things just look the same. Aurelia, Azir, Vernitsky, Olaf, Evelyn, Selfmade had in Bwipo, he had what? He had the Yon game, which he kind of ran it down on. But other than that, there was Sion, Riven for a few games. He had Riven. Hillsang was mostly on Alistar. Upset was on Kaisa most of the time.
But how much of that is Fnatic's fault drafting, and how much of that was meta dependent?
It's a combination of both. Those things are always a combination of both. That's to me personally. Because there's not a lot of variation in the meta when it comes to Pro League of Legends. But in terms of the roster itself, when I saw them play, I generally think they could have been the second best team. I don't care what no one says. If you watch these players play, this could have been a 3rd or 2nd place team. But it looks like when they played, they just didn't agree on how to play the game at all. Because Mithy talked about this in a Reflections episode with Thorin. They could never agree on a draft. If they never can agree on a draft, of course it's going to come out wonky. Because not one player wants to sacrifice, not one player wants to play for the team, and not one player wants to play weak side for specific games. You don't always have to play weak side, but for specific points at certain games against certain players, you have to. And if no player is willing to sacrifice, of course you get them finishing 5th. And is that only because of big personalities? Maybe, but this has happened in the past too, where they failed at certain moments where they shouldn't have, based off maybe player personality. So, the only thing I really think they did well, a few things. They have, Upset played well to me. I think he played fine over Reckless. It's one of those things where it's a reverse TSM situation. They lost their legacy player. They got someone else. I think Upset played fine for all intents and purposes. Hillsang didn't look that good to me personally. I think Kaiser, Limit, Treats played better. Trimpy did not play better. Who said Trimpy played better? No, he did not play better. Trimpy stinks, man. Niski played fine. People are kind of ragging on him. Niski played fine to me, actually. I think he was a serviceable mid laner. But you're Fnatic. You don't want serviceable mid laner. You want best mid laner. You want win the split mid laner. You know, Selfmade, I think he still played fairly fine. Bwipo, I think he wasn't in my all pro teams, but you know, he was for other people. So like, I don't know what you do with this roster. Like Yamato Cannon should have been able to hone in these players. He got the Vitality roster, you know, to Worlds, you know. So like, I just don't know, man. There's so many different ideas out there. Is it big personalities, not sacrificing, not too flexible in draft? But that's neither here nor there because a lot of teams really aren't. Their play style is just all over the place. Or you could just say they don't have a play style because just running in and diving every 5 minutes is not a play style. I'm sorry, it's just not. That's like just mindless aggression. They're kind of just surviving off mindless aggression. Those are my thoughts just generally. But, you know, T-Row, you're a Fnatic fan, so what do you think generally? You know, man?
I mean, they had a bad split. It's not the first time that's happened. I consume a lot of their, you know, extra like side content and stuff.
I like their content on YouTube. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So like I get that, you know, in a vacuum, this is a failure, just plain and simple. But I feel like it's hard to weigh spring success versus summer success. I think that given the team more time and ignoring all the issues that they had throughout the regular season, with extenuating circumstances, they barely made playoffs and whatnot. I think that this team will do better in summer. Going into 2022, do I expect to see changes? Sure. I do feel like it might be roster moves rather than changing out the coaching staff, because I feel like Yamato Cannon and Tolki are building a good infrastructure to catapult them into success. Especially with the way that Tolki handles draft analysis and kind of patch scouting. So I think that next year maybe they replace some players. I honestly think they're gonna keep Bwipo and Upset and kind of build around those two. Maybe find a jungler that's better for their needs. But I'm not gonna like hit the panic button, you know.
But
I'm fine.
Last year, they also barely made it to playoffs too. And last summer, they actually barely made it too. And it happened this year too. They're like barely making it at certain points. I'm not saying they're doing this, but like banking on other teams winning and losing to get them in. It's happened twice now. So I really hope I also really hope the roster does well this summer. I don't want these players to do bad. I genuinely think they still have good players though. But it's like looking at the games we've seen from them, could they improve? Sure. That's par for the course.
100%.
Yeah. But it's like, where do you see them? Like, what play style do you think they could like specifically hone into and play the game that way? Because we know these guys don't really agree on the game. And if it gets worse to the point where they're losing the same way, I'm not saying team could implode, but, you know, it's just ideas, guys. I'm just spouting ideas out here. You know, this is just all in my head. But when you hear Mithy saying they could never agree on a draft, they saying Bwipo and Selfmade not extending contracts. You have them. We saw the way they played this split. Games looking all out of sorts. You know, is that pause for concern? That's all I'm saying. You know, maybe not. It is spring. They can say spring doesn't matter, which is, you know,
depends on who you are, honestly.
Yeah, you know. But it's even in the mid lane situation, like, you know, Niski. It's like Niski played fine, but Niski's not better than Caps, Larson, and nor Humanoid. So, and if they paid a lot of money for Niski, yikes, because we know Jack don't sell players for cheap. That's just, he bought someone for $1 million. He did not sell Niski for like $100,000. Let's be honest here. You know, he wasn't sold for cheap. It was like, he got Niski on a cheap contract.
Whatever Niski's contract from C9 was, because he had a contract through 2022 or whatever.
Yeah, it's true. So potentially he would have to pay. They would have to pay out more to get him because he was already locked in. Which is a smart move by Jack. You know, that's always smart to get money. But what do you think, man? Coffee's silent. You look like you want to say a lot.
No, I just have to go soon.
We have 1 minute left, and that's it. You want to say anything about Fnatic?
Yeah, I just to wrap it up, I still think that the synergies of this team didn't work out the way I think that they would have. I think that Bwipo needed to take a step back and realize that Niski is really good at one style of play, and I think that Selfmade should have been their carry. Playing around Selfmade should have been the strategy, but for some reason they still want to play around drafting to counterpick top and play all these weird styles that don't seem to be working. I think that they should go back to the basics and understand that honing in on one style and trying to fit comps that support that style is the way that you win more consistently. And I think that I'd like to see them do that and really all in on the roaming support, play for jungler meta. I think that their biggest issue is that Upset is a very demanding player and that he demands that his jungler comes bot and it limits Selfmade's pathing. And on top of that, to compensate for that, Bwipo is playing on the other side way too aggressively. So they either need to all in on this carry bot idea that Upset has, or they need to all in on getting Selfmade to be the carry that he was last year. Right now, they're doing neither, and every man it's playing for himself besides Niski. So I'd like to see some kind of cohesion and synergy with the team and commit to one style.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. Anything else you guys want to say before we head out of here? I think we had a pretty solid episode. Just kind of a recap, wrap up, post tier list, talking about Fnatic a little bit because, Fnatic had a lot of fans. So might as well talk about the most popular teams. Anything else you guys want to say?
Nope. Have a good day.
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. See you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. And I'll see you guys later. Peace. See you guys later.